What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mace, and we're continuing on to part 2 of this video from Ryan Shirley, top 25 places to visit in Norway. It's cool because these are places that he actually traveled to, so it's not just like some Expedia, like, very corporate and like, these are the places you gotta go. It has a lot of variety, and it's pretty cool. I saw some comments, like, from people that had been to Canada and said, Canada's beautiful too, and we see a lot of similarities and whatnot, and we do have some beautiful fjords and beautiful areas, especially where we live here on the west coast of Canada in British Columbia, down in the lower mainland, as well as on Vancouver Island and through Desolation Sound, all the way up the coast. It's pretty incredible. The Great Bear Rainforest and the beautiful fjords. I don't think we have any roads like this, though. See this road here? That's very cool. And this is just so scenic, so picturesque. It's pretty incredible. All right, we're continuing on from the Atlantic Road, and we're moving on to Lisbon.
To Lisbon to drive down another Norwegian road. Now, Lisbon is this small village that's about a 3-hour drive from Stavanger. Now, what I think is so scenic about Lisbon...
Like, look at that. Just look at that right there. Look at that cliff, the way the sun's coming down. Kind of Red Dead Redemption 2 vibes right now.
Is the road that leads down to it. Now, when I first saw pictures of it, I just couldn't believe it. It consists of 27 hairpin turns that descend down the fjord to the village below. When you're at the bottom...
I've taken some roads like that when I was in the Philippines. They're like hairpin turns for kilometers and kilometers and kilometers. It's really fun.
You'll be amazed by the surrounding walls of the fjord. Now, after, we're going to head over to the nearby...
Hey, this is where they did Mission Impossible, right? Fallout?
Pulpit Rock. Located in the same fjord as Lisbon, Pulpit Rock is a famous flat-top cliff with a straight drop of over 600 meters. To get there, you can park in the base camp and make a 6-kilometer hike. The rock can get super
Tom Cruise
packed,
fought
so if you want to avoid the
Henry
crowds,
Cavill.
wake up early and get to the rock to enjoy the sunrise. Now, after, we're going to do another hike to the iconic Trolltunga. Now, located about a 6-hour drive from Oslo, Trolltunga is possibly the most famous rock formation in Norway, as it shoots out over 2,000 feet from the lake below. Trolltunga
I would be kind of apprehensive going out on that rock.
It is definitely one of the hardest hikes you'll ever do. It's a 28-kilometer round-trip trek that takes anywhere from 8 to 12 hours to do. While it is extremely strenuous, it's hard to beat the views of Trolltunga. Afterwards, we're going to visit some of Norway's most beautiful cities, starting with Bergen. Located on Norway's southwest coast, surrounded by fjords, Bergen is one of Norway's most charming cities. Bergen was founded back in 1070. Thanks to its maritime trade domination, Bergen was the largest city in Norway until the 1830s. Today, it's famous for its colorful wooden houses on the old wharf. You can hike the Fløyen mountain to get some amazing panoramic views of the city. After Bergen, we're going to visit Ålesund. Now, located about a 7-hour drive from Bergen, Ålesund is one of Norway's most prominent fishing towns, built on a uniquely shaped archipelago. Similar to Bergen, it's home to beautifully colored buildings perched right against the ocean. Now, to get one of
The color of the buildings and that interesting variety of architecture, but more specifically the colorful paint choices certainly reminds me of some of our maritime places, like in Newfoundland and Nova Scotia. And
one of the best views of the city, you can go up to the Byrampen viewpoint or Mount Askell lookouts. Both will give you incredible panoramic views of the fjord and archipelago. If you go to Ålesund during the winter months, you might be lucky and witness the stunning aurora borealis as it dances across the Norwegian sky. After, we're going to visit Norway's capital, Oslo. Located on Norway's southern coast, Oslo was founded at the end of the Viking Age during the 11th century. Today, Oslo is one of Europe's fastest growing cities. I love all the modern buildings and museums throughout this.
So what I was noticing from the first few shots is the interesting architectural style of a lot of the buildings.
City. The Oslo Opera House is an impressive piece of architecture that resembles an iceberg. It was completed in 2007 and features slanted marble and granite that slide down to the water. After Oslo, we're going to head up to northern Norway to visit Tromsø. Now, when you look at Tromsø on a map, it's wild to see how high up it is. It's the northernmost city in the world with
Whoa.
a population over 20,000 people.
You say northernmost city in the world?
How high up it is. It's the northernmost city in the world with a population over 20,000 people. Tromsø and
with
the
a
area
population over
around it
20,000.
is one of the best places in the world to witness the northern lights. Now, from Tromsø, there's a lot of cool
Whoa,
places
look
you
at
can
that
visit.
mountain.
You can go to the Lingen Alps, which are about an hour and a half away, and hike to the crystal clear Blavatnet
wow.
Lake. Now, one interesting place in northern Norway is Nordkapp, or the North Cape. It's the northernmost point in continental Europe and stands upon a 370-meter cliff that dives into the sea. Now, to get there, you can make the 9-hour
Dang.
drive from Tromsø, or you could also fly into Honningsvåg or the Alta airports. It's a journey to get there, but it sure is worth it. After, we're going to cross the Barents Sea to visit the world's northernmost inhabited area, Svalbard. Located right between the North Pole and Norway lies this Arctic
What? People live here?
archipelago. Now, the capital of Svalbard is this town called Longyearbyen, which has a population of 2,000 people. Now, what's cool about Svalbard is that it's a visa-free zone, so basically anyone can move and work there. The biggest danger on Svalbard is the Arctic cold and polar bears. In some places, you're required to bring a gun to protect yourself from them, so that's pretty wild. Now, after, we're going to head back to mainland Norway to visit the iconic Lofoten Islands. Now, Lofoten is located in northern Norway, and even though it is in the Arctic Circle, it feels like you're on a tropical island. I was lucky enough to go there a few summers ago and just had an incredible journey road tripping through that.
So what type of temperatures do you get like here in the summertime? Because those beaches look fantastic. The scenery looks amazing.
Islands. Our first pit stop was at this little fishing village called
That soccer field. And look at the surroundings. That's incredible.
Henningsvær. Henningsvær is home to the world's most scenic soccer field. When we got there, we sadly didn't have a ball, but we had a good time playing on the field and enjoying the incredible views of Henningsvær. We kept driving and made it to the iconic town of Rhine. Now, when you think of Norway, this is it. It has those red houses surrounded by massive sea mountains. I'd have to say this is the most beautiful town in Lofoten. Now, when I was planning my road trip to Norway, I remember just seeing pictures of this place and I couldn't believe it existed. If you want to do an amazing hike, I recommend hiking to Kvalika Beach. It's about a 4-kilometer round trip trek, and I promise it's worth it. When you get to the beach, you're going to be amazed by the landscape. It has mountains that remind me of Switzerland, an ocean that looks like the Caribbean, and it's green as a tropical island. I mean, I just can't believe places like this exist, especially in the Arctic Circle.
That's a good place, good way to put it. I can't believe places like this exist. Yes.
Now, afterwards, we're going to head to South Strumen to witness one of the world's largest whirlpools. Now, located about a 3-hour ferry ride from the Lofoten Islands, South Strumen is a natural wonder with over 110 billion gallons of water passing through the strait every 6 hours, making it one of the strongest currents in the world. One of the coolest features of South Strumen is the whirlpools that the changing tides make. While they aren't whirlpools that you'd imagine from movies, these whirlpools can get over 33 feet in diameter with a depth of 16 feet when the current is at its strongest. You can take a boat ride through the current or can witness the whirlpools from the ridge above. For our final destination, we're going to visit the magical island of Senja. Senja is located above the Arctic Circle and is Norway's second largest island. The reason I wanted to go to Senja was I wanted to hike to this sea mountain called Segla. So I drove to this town called Fjordard and got to the base of the hike, eventually made it to the top and was just baffled by the views. The rock formation rose hundreds of meters out of the ocean. I was just having the time of my life. And I decided I wanted to spend the night on top of the mountain so I could see the northern lights. All I had was a blanket and I used my camera bag as a pillow. I set up camp on a mossy cliff ledge and waited for the northern lights to show up. Around 11 p.m. I awoke to the aurora borealis above my head.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. They moved surprisingly fast, like snakes in the Arctic sky. Now, seeing the lights made me feel like a kid again and will
Those drone shots were absolutely amazing.
forever be one of the most special nights of my life. Sometimes you don't need to fall asleep to start dreaming. Well, that is it for my Norway Top 25. There are endless beautiful places in Norway, and I plan to go back next summer to discover even more, so expect a part 2. Let me know where your favorite place in Norway is in the comments below. I also have a relaxation channel where I make hour-long films to bring some peace and nature in your life. I did a video on Norway that I think you'll enjoy. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at shirley.film.
That's a great call. The relaxation
Ryan,
channel.
and we will
Because just look at this, like beautiful. This is like 4K, right? This is pump it up. Yeah, amazing stuff. definitely on a bucket list for me. All right. We'll see you guys on the next one.